All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. We are here to talk with Isaac Golden Boy Chilemba and Vasily the Professor Lepikhin. They are part of the HBO triple header that is on the Kovalev and Pascal card on HBO World Championship Boxing, Saturday, March 14th, live from Bell Center in Montreal, Canada. And today, Isaac and Vasily will talk about their fight preparation and anything else that you want to ask them. Their fight is for the NABF light heavyweight title, and it is the opening bout of the Kovalev-Hopkins show. So right now, I'm going to introduce you to Kathy Duva, the CEO of Main Event.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good. Good, thanks.
I am happy you're all on. I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
This is a great card, and this fight could be the sleeper of the night and maybe turn out to be the best fight on it. You've got two light heavyweights who are in their prime and are coming up in a division that I think is going to be the glamour division of boxing once the fellas that are fighting in May get their fight out of the way. We know that the welterweights have ruled boxing for the last 10 years or so, if not longer, and their time is nearing an end. And I think that if you look at the landscape of this division and you look at the people in it, I think that in the next 3 or 4 years you're going to see light heavyweights vying for that top spot on that pound-for-pound list with each other, the way you see welterweights doing it now. So this is the future. We have two terrific fighters in a fight that nobody can predict the outcome. So that always makes for great television and great excitement for the fans. And I'm pleased and proud to be able to be presenting the show with my partners from Canada, from Interbox. This whole promotion has been a pleasure, and I certainly can't wait to get to Montreal and have all this come together in the next week.
Thank you. I also have a statement to read from Jean Bedard. He was unable to join us at the last minute today, and he just wanted me to say to everyone that it is very important for us to offer our fans a quality product on March 14th. And the addition to the card of a boxer with such enormous potential as Vasily Lepikhin in a match against a world-rated contender is as exciting as it is strategic. We are glad to welcome also Isaac Chilemba. We're also very happy to build a future relationship with Main Event moving forward past March 14th. And that is from him. So what we will do now is we will just immediately open up the Q&A. In order to ask a question, you press *6. You will be put into the queue. You can press *6 now. I will ask everybody to limit yourself to 2 questions to begin with because there are quite a number of you on the call. After you have asked your questions, you can get back in the queue if you have more that weren't answered yet, okay? So you can begin pressing *6.
Q&A session started.
Everybody shy?
Okay, bye-bye.
Funny. You got to work harder than that.
Yeah. Okay, Bernard Fernandez, you are on.
Yes, I guess this is for Vasily, and I just got on a second ago, so I don't know if Egis is here. When Sergei Kovalev came over to the United States, he wasn't very well known. Vasily, 15 of his first fights were in Russia. Does he see himself sort of maybe following in that footsteps of Sergei?
Well, I think today every fighter would love to follow Sergei Kovalev's footsteps. But it's probably nobody can do it. Like nobody can follow what the Mike Tyson did. Nobody can follow what the Mayweather did. Nobody can follow what Roy Jones Jr. did in their division. And they cannot be a fighter. You cannot mimic a fighter's what they've been doing. So every fighter is a different. Of course, every fighter dreams to fight for the title and to become world champion. So, my answer would be yes, he's trying, he's training hard, and he wants to make a mark in the boxing.
I guess our follow-up question is, when you look at Isaac Chilemba, what do you see in terms of what he presents and what problems that you'll have to overcome or solve in fighting against someone of his style?
Well, first of all, Isaac is a pretty good fighter. He's been around. He fought a good fighter. You beat a good fighter, and it's hard to predict. And our plan, not just with Vasily, but most of my fighters, what I've been talking to them and what we're trying to do, we're not worried about what the other fighter is going to do. We worry what we're going to do. And, you can prepare for one Isaac Chilemba, and he comes in the ring a completely different Isaac Chilemba, then what? So it's, if you start worrying about what your opponent is going to do, then, you're not going to do anything. So it's basically, just the regular training, go in the ring and play by the situation, what it's going to be. Of course, there is some game plan, fight plan, build up before it, but not very deep into it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Nancy Rodriguez from Supreme Boxing and WBC Boxing.com. I have a question for each. My first one is for Isaac. Isaac, what impressed me a lot reading about your life is how you grew up in a poor family from Maliwa, and now you're here. You're going to be fighting on HBO with an undefeated fighter. I saw that traveling has been getting to you. How is this camp going? How do you feel? Do you feel prepared? I know it's a short camp. How do you feel for this fight?
First of all, I thank God for the opportunity. Seeing myself being here and fighting on HBO, it's a dream come true. Talk about the fight and preparation. I always stay in shape. When I'm back at home, I train with Jody Solomon, and I always keep in shape. I'm always in the gym, always focused. So coming here is just a top up on what I have. So even though it was a short training camp, there's no worry, and I'm not worried about anything. I'm in good shape, and I'm really looking forward for next week.
That's awesome. My next question is for Vasily. Okay, so you're undefeated. You've been stopping people on the KO winning streak, and now you're gonna face Isaac, who he's on a 3-win winning streak, and he fought a tough fight in London against Tony Bellew. I mean, it was in his backyard. He had everything against him, but he still fought well. How do you feel? You're fighting a really hungry fighter who wants to win the NABS light heavyweight title. Do you feel this is do you feel you can do it again? Do you feel you can stop someone on their winning streak once again for the third time?
Вот вопрос тебе задает.
Да, я понял.
Ты понял вопрос?
Ну, еще раз лучше переведи, да.
То есть, в принципе, как бы ты идешь без поражений, нокаутируешь соперников в последних боях. И Айзек Чилемба то же самое, как бы, с 3 последними боями с победой Беллами он спонсировал у него как бы во дворе. И каждый ты себя чувствуешь, как ты думаешь, сможешь ты то же самое продолжать, нокаутировать людей, просто боксом будут и обстановкой.
Я буду просто, отвечу на вопрос, то, что я рад открывать вечер HBO в таком большом шоу и участвовать в таком шоу, это первое. И в Chilemba я буду просто наслаждаться боксом, я буду делать свой бокс, я буду делать свою работу. И буду придерживаться своего тактического плана.
First of all, I want to just to let you know I'm very happy to be participating in a show on the HBO. And second of all of it going to depend on the situation. I'm gonna have some plans in my strategy, but I'm gonna be enjoying boxing. I'm gonna do my work, what I do, and I'm not gonna aim for anything. I'm just gonna be fighting and preparing, go trying to win the fight.
Okay, thank you. And I just have a comment for Kathy. This is a fully stacked card, from beginning to end. All three, all the fights have a lot of potential to be great fights. I just want to congratulate you on this great card you have for us next week.
Well, thank you, and I think you should also give a little congratulations to Julian Mazzone, who put together those two undercard fights, this one and the fight between Steve Cunningham and Cunningham and Glasgow. Sorry, we really, and Henry has been making the fights on the Canadian side. They've both been working very hard and making a great show. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to remind everybody that we have Isaac Chilemba, Vasily Lepikhin, Aegis Klimas, and Kathy Duva on the phone to ask questions of. Star 6 to ask a question.
Hello, everyone. This is George Hansen, the mouthpiece from the City of Brotherly Love. I have two questions. One for Isaac Chilemba. I was at your fight when you fought Michael Benga, who's somewhat awkward. This upcoming fight, you're fighting a guy who's 6 feet 4 inches. He's awkward. He has a different rhythm. How do you prepare for that?
I would say I'm always ready for anything. We always prepare for whatever style that could be, whatever height the opponent could be. Vasily is a good fighter. I saw one of his videos. I saw a few rounds of his fight, his last fight. Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's got good movement. He's quick. He's got good jab behind him. He's got a height, and he knows how to use it. But you know what? That's what training is there for. We always prepare for everything, and I don't see anything to cause a problem in the fight due to his height or how smart he may be. We'll be well prepared for that, and when the night comes on 14th March, we'll take care of our business.
My second question, Isaac, watching, I've heard your story. Who's your favorite fighter of all time, and what have you learned from that person's journey?
I've got 4 fighters that I love most, and they're all equal in my eyes. First is Roy Jones Jr. I love his speed, his movement, his endurance, and the Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and Sugar Ray Robinson. These are my favorite fighters, and every time growing up, I looked towards them, and I took pieces and tried to invent them into my own style and learn from them. And even to today, I take my time to study these guys, even though I study other guys just to add on to what I have, but these are like my top fighters. So I've learned a lot, and some of the things that I haven't achieved yet, and I'm working towards that, trying to better myself each and every day.
Thank you very much, and you picked a great group of fighters.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this is Chip Mitchell, thefightjournal.com. Keeping in line with the 2-question
statement for now. I'll start with Vasily. In many folks' eyes, Isaac has a better resume, has been in bigger fights. Is there anything that you do differently to prepare for a fight like this from a mental standpoint?
Вася, для тебя вопрос.
Да,
Айзек был намного больше в больших боях, чем, скажем, ты. У него, он более, народ его более знает здесь. И ты делаешь что-нибудь другое, подготовку к его бою, как менталитетно, так и физически.
Но меня это и мотивирует, то, что он более известный здесь, и именно с ним мне интересен бой, я хочу этого боя. Именно с ним, потому что он уже, можно сказать, на глазах, на слуху, и то, что предоставился мне, это возможность боксировать с ним, я этому рад, я еще раз повторюсь. Поэтому меня это еще больше мотивирует и стимулирует боксировать именно с ним. То, что он более засвечен, можно сказать, более на слуху, на глазах у зрителей, у боксерских аналитиков, у промоутеров. Я хочу себя показать в этом бою и доказать, что есть другие боксеры, более интересные, более мотивированные.
Well, basically what is motivates me, because he's a better known, he's a well known among fans, among boxing critics, journalists. Everybody knows him more than me. This is what gives me more motivation, and this is what I'm preparing for this fight, and I wanted to show to everybody which is around more good fighters, more good boxers, and that's what keeps me motivated.
Okay, thank you. And Isaac, yes, sir. You've come up on the short end of some close decisions. What I mean by that is you've had to settle for a draw in a couple fights that many thought you won. And your fight, if your fight with Vasily is close going into the later rounds, do you feel any added pressure to win those rounds more convincingly based on what's transpired in the past?
I would say that I've learned a lot from all the draws that I had and all decisions that I had in a fight. And now my goal is not to give any round to my opponent, or keep the round closer to where people might argue who might take that round. The plan is to make sure that we're winning every round. I go in there and win every round from beginning to the end. So I don't give any argument or any second thought to my winning that fight.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hi guys, Michael Woods calling from Brooklyn, writing for Ring. How you doing?
Oh, good, thanks.
Good. First question is for the man nicknamed the Professor. Vasily, when did you get that nickname, and how did you get that nickname, and who gave you the nickname the Professor?
Первый вопрос для Васи, профессора. Как ты получил это имя и кто тебе дал? Давай, чтобы там не переводить, Вася, я уже знаю, как это.
Да, Игорь, да, ты знаешь.
Yeah, okay, so, hey, Mike, how are you, buddy?
How you doing?
Good. Listen, I'm going to answer this because we don't need him to say, because I know exactly what happened. So
Okay,
then he was fighting his professional fight. After he came from the ring, one of the promoters said, "This guy is very smart in the ring. This guy is just like a professor of boxing." That's how ended up he's getting that professor name.
pro fight. Okay, came in his first pro fight after a promoter was very impressed with his ring generalship. I got it. Great. Then this other question for Isaac. Isaac, I'm wondering, looking at your resume, looking at your record, what do you consider to be your best win, your signature win to this point in your career?
Listen, I value all my fights. Every win means a lot to me. So I wouldn't say that one is more than other. They all mean a lot to me. So they're all equal.
Okay.
Yes.
And finally, question for Kathy. Kathy, what are the stakes for this fight? What happens with the winner? Do they get a title shot?
I think the winner, I can't promise a title shot immediately. I think the winner clearly moves up. You know, as you know, the winner is obligated to fight in IBF mandatory against against Momeni next. So immediately, this doesn't get the winner a title shot. But what it does do is get him up into the conversation, and perhaps by the end of the year, it puts him in that position. We have a few different things going, and Sergey always looking for the very biggest and best fights that he can get. There's the WBC mandated fight with Stevenson that is still out there. So I can't promise you exactly what's going to happen, but I do know the winner and possibly the loser is going to be in the conversation no matter what. But obviously the winner is going to get further ahead in the queue.
All right, within the IBF. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, to ask a question, you press *6.
Yes, good afternoon, Dave Spencer from Fight News.
Hey, Dave.
Question for Isaac. You mentioned earlier that this fight was a dream come true. I'm just wondering, when you first laced up the gloves at 12 years old, what your dreams really were. Like how far did you figure this whole thing might take you? I don't think a North American title at the time was in the cards, so I just wondered back from the beginning what your dreams were.
My dream from beginning is to be the best in the world, be the best in my division, and be known as one of the top fighters in the world. That generations to come, when they talk about boxing, I'll be mentioned. Like today and tomorrow, people they always talk about Muhammad Ali. They always talk about Joe Frazier and all other great fighters. That was my biggest. That's my biggest goal from the beginning of my boxing journey. And when I say earlier that this is a dream coming true, what I mean is I'm getting there. Now I'm getting closer. It's like I'm getting my first foot in front of that dream. I'm getting closer. The more I do it, the more I get there, the more I motivate myself. It motivates me to get closer and closer to be one of the greatest in the world.
Okay, thank you. Question for Vasily. Winning this fight, there's obviously a lot of light heavyweights up here in Montreal with Pascal and Stevenson and Beterbiev. How important is not only winning this fight, but looking impressive on HBO and able to get those bigger fights down the road?
Василий, тебе вопрос. Что для тебя значит выигрыш? Вот именно этот выигрыш, особенно здесь, в Монреале, когда в Монреале тоже в Канаде есть как Бетербиев, как Стивенсон. Что для тебя значит выигрыш и что для тебя значит как выглядеть зрелищно на этом бою, на HBO бою?
Ну, это всегда значимо, это всегда положительно, это всегда хорошо. Я просто хочу делать историю. Я сейчас нахожусь здесь, и я делаю историю. Я хочу делать историю, я хочу боксировать на таких шоу и показывать свой бокс, свое мастерство. И мне не важно, что там есть другие боксеры, как Стивенсон, Паскаль или Петербиев. Я сейчас настроен на Айзека. И мне не важно, кто есть сейчас другие. Мне сейчас настрой только на него.
It's always very important for me to look good in any fight. Doesn't matter where it is. To look aggressive, to make a fan like you. And really, for me, it doesn't matter who is there in Canada. Pascal, Stevenson, Peterbiev. I really don't care. Right now, I am motivated, and right now I'm preparing for the fight with Isaac Chilemba.
Okay, thanks very much. Quick question for Kathy. How, given the light heavyweights that you have and the ones that in Montreal, can we look forward to more collaborations with Interbox and Highway 87 being highly traveled in the upcoming year?
I believe so. It's been a pleasure working with Interbox, and I would very much like to continue. And of course, they are going to be working with us in the future on these fighters on this card. So it would be wonderful. And you know, I really think what I said earlier. I really believe it. I think this is the new glamour division. It's in its birth right now, and it's. I think 3 or 4 years from now, we're going to be talking about fights in this division the same way we talk about fights in the welterweight division now.
Thanks very much.
Hi, this is Brian Fogg at Leave It in the Ring. I have a question for Kathy. The fight's for a North American belt, but how exactly is that when neither fighter is from North America?
Well, their promoter is, and they train in North America, and so the sanctioning bodies have, all of them actually recently have taken to recognizing the place where the fighter is based for training as being their home as well.
Okay. All right. And also, they're both potential opponents for Sergey somewhere down the line. What challenges do both of these guys give Kovalev if a fight were to happen?
Well, you know, first they've got to fight each other, and I think we're going to find out a lot more about both of them in that fight because they are tremendous fighters. And again, I think this is really one of the best fights on the card. For that reason, I don't think anybody can predict the outcome. As far as Sergey, he presents great challenges to anyone, but you know, our job. We believe our job here is to not only promote Sergey Kovalev's career, but think about the future, think about who he's going to fight down the line, and you know, and think about who the very best potential opponents are for him, because that's the way he creates a legacy, and that's the way people who potentially fight him get their opportunities, and that's what we're all about here. So it's about putting on the best, most exciting fights to entertain the fans and to build the fighters' legacies, and I believe both of these young men may very well end up fighting him someday, and I'm no more in a position to predict what will happen then than I am to predict what's going to happen on March 14th. So I think I'm just going to sit back with the fans and try to enjoy the fight as much as I can, although having good relationships and friendships with both of the fighters is going to make it particularly challenging for me. But again, if fighters are going to be the best in their division, they have to fight each other and improve themselves, and this is the opportunity they've got. We're the winners.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, this is Kylie from Why You Fight, and I had a question for Isaac. You had your problems with Blue in London, and you had said, you know, that was something that you worked through mentally. Was that, would you say, like one of your hardest fights? And if it was, how do you think Vasily is going to measure up for you in terms of like challenges or the biggest challenges that you've had to date?
Yeah, I'd say that was my hardest fight in my professional career, simply because I defeated myself. I wasn't there myself. Throughout the fight, I didn't know who I was, where I was. I didn't know what I was doing. And even after that, or before the fight, I continuously fight with myself just to be in a fight mode, and that fight taught me a lot to straighten up my mind. That was one of the things that I never thought they would happen in my life, but I guess everybody gets one of those times where everything crashed out, crashed down mentally, and it was a big learning point for me. And now, not that I just have to worry about being in shape, be 100% in physical form, but I also have to make sure that I'm mentally, not just boxing wise, but also my step up life, mentally, I'm in good shape. So since then, yes, I walked in the therapy a couple of times, and now I've learned 2 or 3 things how to deal with the situations when I feel the way I felt the night of the fight. So I don't see anything else now jeopardizing me or pushing me away from my path, because I'm always make sure that I'm in good shape physically. Now I've finally found some tools of dealing with myself mentally. So now I'm well prepared. I'm a full-on, well-geared soldier going to war, 100% prepared.
Okay, thank you. And for Vasily, I was just wondering, since you have this streak of KOs that you got, and especially the ones in the first round, being on such a big platform now, do you feel extra pressure to deliver another KO, or is it just business as usual for you, and you just want to look good?
Тебя спрашивают, говорит, смотря на твои рекорды, у тебя много нокаутов в первом-втором раунде, и сейчас, как бы, находясь на такой большом шоу, на такой большой карте, для тебя это как бы больше напряжения, что опять выйти и тут же сразу как бы попытаться нокаутировать, или тебе это не важно, ты просто хочешь выглядеть красиво? Зрелищно.
Ну да, мне не важно нокаутировать его или нет, мне надо показать красивый бокс и свой стиль бокса. И неважно, победа это будет нокаутом или по очкам. У меня настрой только показать хороший бокс и победа. Только победа.
Basically, it really doesn't matter to me if I'm gonna knock out or I'm just gonna win by the points. For me, it's the most important thing is to win and to win. And really do not matter. I just wanted to show my boxing skills. I just wanted to show my box.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Rob Susi with ProBoxingInsider.com. A couple questions, actually, one for each fighter. Isaac, probably more so than in any other sport, in boxing experience is huge. You, I think, have been 12 rounds like 7 or 8 times in your career. Vasily has not been past the 10th round. How do you feel that is going to be? Do you feel that's going to be in your advantage? A close fight late, if the fight does go the distance, do you feel that you have a big edge with your experience?
Listen, every experience is valuable in life, and all those programs that I went through, they mean a lot, and they taught me a lot, and my body knows how to go beyond the level. And I don't know how he feels about it, because I was once just an 8-rounder who jumped to 12 rounds, and I went 12 rounds, and I won the fight in a 12-round fight. So I don't know how Lepikhin is prepared. If they think if they think they tough enough to go 10 rounds or to go beyond that, if they are, then good for it. All I can say is what I know. I've been there, and I know how it feels like, and I always push myself to an extent, and I don't care what it's going to come with, how the fight will go. I'll push myself to a max simply because I just want that win.
Thank you. Conversely, Vasily, you have never been past the 10th round. Do you feel like you are physically and mentally prepared to go a hard 12 rounds if you have to?
Вася, вопрос тебе. Ты никогда не проходил больше 10 раундов. Как ты сам себя чувствуешь ментально, физически? Если у тебя будет 12 трудных раундов, ты готов на это?
Конечно, готов на все 12 раундов, потому что 10 раундов я уже боксировал, и 2 раунда я не считаю, что это какая-то проблема. Я готов на все 12 раундов.
Yes, of course, I'm ready for all 12 rounds, 100%, and I already been with a 10 rounds fight, and I think 2 more rounds, it's not a big stuff. So yes, of course, I'm ready for all 12 hard rounds.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Guys, get you into the queue.
Hi, this is Robert Uzel, Boxing News 24, FightJournal.com. The first question is for Vasily. Was Jackson Jr. your toughest fight as a professional? And part 2 of my question is, how would you grade your last performance, which was against Junior?
Василий, вопрос тебе. Джексон Джуниор, это был самый большой и трудный бой в твоей профессиональной карьере? И второе, как ты считаешь Джексон Джуниор как боксера?
Ну, хороший боксер. Здесь было мое физическое состояние на тот момент было не очень удовлетворительное, поэтому был такой бой. Плохого ничего не могу сказать о Джексоне Джуниор, очень хороший боксер.
Jackson Jr., yeah, he's a good fighter. I can't say anything bad about him. The only one thing was I wasn't 100% healthy for that fight. So basically, I'm going to ask from me. As soon as he arrived to Pennsylvania, even during a flight on a flight or in a hotel, he got very, very sick. So basically, it was even deliberation, like 2 days before the fight or a day after morning, the 2 days before the fight, he went to bed and kind of like, okay, he's going to wake up in the morning and we're going to see, are we going into the fight or we cancel? Unfortunately, I wasn't there because I was with Sergey in Atlantic City and they were in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And the trainer in the morning, decided, he should go into the fight. And, that's what basically is. Of course, it's not kind of like excuse, but that's what happened.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, hopefully a flight to Montreal is not going to get him sick.
Okay. Okay, my next question is for Isaac. How is it different fighting in Africa compared to fighting in the U.S. and Canada?
It's huge. It's like jumping from a bath of water into the sea. That's what it is. Here in America, boxing is large. Boxing here, this is the mecca of boxing. It's every African fighter's dream to come up here and be competing against the guys up here and stand to an American promoter, and having an American trainer and all of that. It's a big achievement. It's a goal that comes once in a lifetime, and it's huge. Just thank God for every opportunity and for the eye that was given on me to be in this place at this time.
Okay. My last question for Isaac. Now, I know you focus on this fight, but if you win this fight, do you want the winner of Kovalev and Pascal, or even would you even want the loser of Kovalev and Pascal?
Yeah, listen, my goal is to fight anyone who is up there in order for me to be on top. So these guys cover Pascal, they're high up there, and I think even the loser will be still a high rank depending on how they lose. So just to get there, to step closer to that World Championship fight, even fighting the loser wouldn't be bad because I really want to get up there. As me personally, I would love to fight the winner. I'll either consider to fight Stevenson because I'm ranked number 2 right now in the ABC, and Stevenson they're like second battling all the other opponents. I know right now they've got a deal with Kovalev. If he wins, he'll go on that. So even if waiting for that opportunity to come, even if it means to fight the loser of this fight, it will mean a lot to me because I know that I'm staying busy and I'm stepping closer to that chance.
Okay, thank you, and good luck to both fighters.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, we have one more call in the queue, so if you have a question, now's the time to press *6.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. This is William from Pound for Pound. Kathy, I'm going to direct this question to you in regard to the light heavyweight division. This week, it was reported that 2 of the elite in the division, Beterbiev and Alvarez, both coincidentally from Quebec, signed with Premier. So that kind of sends the gene pool a little bit. That leaves Lucien Boutet as the only light heavyweight up in Canada who possibly could fight a winner of either of these fights. What are your thoughts about doing a deal with Premier in regard to Beterbiev or Alvarez? And have you had any discussion, preliminary of course, in regards to Boutet maybe taking on one of the winners if they are your fighters this coming fight?
Well, I think Boutet has an obligation to fight Pascal, which you can talk to them about. As far as any fighters' association with any organizations, I take the long view of things because I have been doing this for so long, and I have seen so many people come along over the years to, with the intention of, taking over boxing and owning it and changing everything about it, and yet I still sit here in my chair, and Bob Arum's still sitting in his, and and there are a few others out there that Golden Boy most notably that certainly has survived. Probably the only upstart newcomer promoter to become a major promoter to survive that I can think of. So let's wait and see what happens in a year or two. I don't really think it's necessary to start thinking right now about who Sergey Kovalev is going to be fighting in a year or two because at the moment his dance card's kind of full. The WBC, by the way, has ordered a fight between him and Stevenson. And Stevenson is still champion after he fights his fight coming up, whoever it is he's fighting. So my opinion about this is that it really doesn't matter. The fights will be made. The fights will come along. And if people want to fight for the light heavyweight title, once Sergey has won all 4 of them, then they can certainly get in line.
Thanks, Kathy.
You're welcome.